What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Knotty Pine Life. Well, the day we've all been waiting for is upon us. The 2021 Vikings schedule has finally been released. There's plenty to be excited about this year as the Vikings prepare for the league's fifth toughest lineup, which includes a Sunday night football matchup with the Cowboys on Halloween night. That should be fun. Looking forward to that. Vikings will open up their season on the road. Their actual first two games will be on the road, and we'll get into that now. So let's start off with week one. Week one, the Vikings will be at the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday at 12 o'clock. All times I'm giving our central time. So it'll be 12 o'clock kickoff at Cincinnati. The Vikings haven't kicked off a season with two consecutive away games in head coach Mike Zimmer's tenure, so this will be a first. The last time they played on the road to start off the season, their first two games was back in 2013 when the Vikings faced the Lions and Bears on the road in weeks 1 and 2. But that's not the only time Minnesota will face back-to-back weeks away from US Bank Stadium. The Vikings are on the road weeks 9 and 10, home in week 11, and then travel for weeks 12 and 13. So, week 2 at Arizona. We'll be playing the Cardinals in week 2. Sunday, 3 o'clock kickoff, 3 in the afternoon against the Arizona Cardinals. Week 3, Vikings will finally be at home on week 3. And they will have Seattle coming to town. Seattle Seahawks. September 26th, 3:25 kickoff. Two things are notable about this match. At first, it seems, in recent history anyway, that the Vikings end up playing Seattle more often than not. 5 of the team's past 6 regular season meetings have been in Washington State, and the Seahawks haven't been in Minnesota since the wild card playoff game in January 2016, with the exception of exhibition contests in 2018 and 2019. This season's game also will be the earliest Seattle and the Vikes have ever faced off. 8 of the last 10 games between the Seahawks and the Vikings have been in November or December. And I should mention, I kind of skipped by this week, the preseason schedule has also been released. Our first game will be at home against Denver Broncos. That game will be either on the 13th or 14th. Our second game will be at home against the Indianapolis Colts. That game will be on August 20th or the 21st. And our third and final preseason game will be at the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs. That game will be August 27th or the 28th. So that's your preseason schedule. Now back to the regular season schedule. Week 4, the Vikings will be at home against the Cleveland Browns. That game will be Sunday with a 12 o'clock kickoff as well. Week 5. One second. Cleveland last year was 11-5. As I mentioned at the onset of the video, the Vikings have the fifth hardest 2021 schedule based on their opponent's win percentage in 2020. The combined record of their opponents in 2020 was 144, 127, and 1. So 144 wins, 127 losses, one tie, for a combined winning percentage of .531. That's the fifth hardest in the league this year. It seems like every year the Vikings just can't catch a break with their schedule, but it is what it is. If you're going to be successful, you have to be able to beat the good teams. So the Vikings obviously this year will have their chance to prove that they're a good team or not. This year, the NFC North teams will be playing the NFC West and the AFC West North teams. And this year, as I'm sure some or most of you know, there's actually going to be 17 regular season games. There will no longer be 16 games, so we get a bonus game this year. So I'm looking forward to that because I love football, and that's one more game that we get to enjoy. So let's get back to the schedule. Week 5, the Vikings will be at home. That'll be their third consecutive home game. They'll be playing the Detroit Lions. That'll be Sunday at 12. And last year, Detroit was 5-11. Week 6, back on the road, the Vikings are. Vikings will be at Carolina. Carolina Panthers. Carolina last year was 5-11. That game will be Sunday at 12 o'clock. Week 7, the Vikings will be on a bye. And I like that. I like having a late bye because it's pretty close to the middle of the season and guys are going to be banged up. And I think teams always appreciate getting their bye later in the season rather than earlier because it gives guys an extra week off to kind of heal. They're banged up and it's just good for teams. So the Vikings caught a break there. Week 8, looking forward to this one. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, Week 8 will be at home against the Cowboys on Halloween night. That's going to be a national stage for the Vikings. It's a Sunday nighter, and that's going to be 7:20 kickoff with the Cowboys. Looking forward to that. The Cowboys last year were projected by a lot of people to be Super Bowl contenders, but of course we know they really struggled. Of course, having Zach out for much of the season didn't help them. Cowboys were 6-10 last year. The following week, Week 9, doesn't get any easier. Vikings are back on the road where they'll be facing Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens Sunday at 12 o'clock. Last year, Baltimore finished 11-5. So another very tough AFC team on the road. That'll be a battle. Week 10, on the road again against another AFC team. Week 10 will be at the San Diego Chargers. That'll be a Sunday game, 3 o'clock, 3 in the afternoon against San Diego. Last year, San Diego was... I called them San Diego. I apologize. They're Los Angeles now. But the Chargers last year were 7-9. Week 11, back to playing our NFC North rivals, and we'll be at home against Green Bay Packers Sunday, 12 o'clock kickoff. That should be pretty exciting. Will Aaron Rodgers still be with the Packers? We don't know. I'm hoping he's out of there. That can only help us. A lot of respect for him as a quarterback. It'd be nice to get him out of the division, and so we'll see. Nobody knows right now. I'm betting, with everything I've watched and heard, Aaron's not happy with the GM and the management in Green Bay. He holds grudges, takes things personally. Of course, the Packers drafted a quarterback last year in the first round. They moved up to pick a quarterback, and I'm sure that didn't sit well with Aaron. Aaron went out and had an MVP season that year, or I should say last year. I'd like to see him get traded, but that's neither here nor there. Following the Green Bay game, we'll be back on the road in Week 12. We'll be at San Francisco, and that game will be Sunday at 3:30 at San Francisco, the 49ers. Last year, the 49ers were a big disappointment, I thought. They were 6-10 on the year. They had a huge drop off because the year before, of course, they won the Super Bowl. The following week, Week 13, the Vikings will travel to Detroit to play the Lions again. That'll be their second final game of the year with the Lions. That game will be Sunday at 12 o'clock. Lions, of course, like I said, they were 5-11. Every year is different. We don't know if they're going to be any good this year, but if history holds true, they're probably not going to be very good. We'll see. Week 14, Vikings will be back at home to face the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and they had a good team last year. They were 12-4, so that's going to be a really tough game. That's going to be a Thursday night game. So again, that's another nationally televised game. Thursday night at home against the Steelers. Kickoff will be 7:20 p.m. Central Time. Looking forward to that. So now we're getting later into the season. We live up north. It's going to be cold, and the Vikings have to travel on the road. Week 15, they'll be heading to Chicago. They'll be the first, a really late meeting between those two games, between those two teams. That's their first game of the year. Doesn't come until Week 15. That's a Monday nighter, another nationally televised game. Monday night at Chicago, the Chicago Bears. 7:15 kickoff. I look for the Bears to improve last year. They were 8-8 last year. They could make a run for the title this year, the division title. I'm not considering them Super Bowl champions, but they could be contenders for a division title. So, should be a fun game. Week 16, the Vikes come back home, and they will be playing the LA Rams. LA Rams, Sunday, 12 o'clock. The Rams last year, another team with a winning record, 10-6. At home against the Rams in Week 16. Week 17. And we're on the road. This is our final road game, and it's against our arch rivals, the Green Bay Packers again. Week 17 at Green Bay. Sunday, another nationally televised game. Sunday nighter, 7:20 kickoff at night. Should be an exciting game. It's going to be cold, cold, cold. Because that game is, I believe, uh, January 2nd. So that's going to be a cold game at night in January at Lambeau. Should be exciting. Our final game of the year, week 18. That sounds really weird to say because we've had 17 weeks of football for so long after they went to the bye. So week 18, our final game will be at home and we'll be playing the Chicago Bears. That'll be a Sunday game at noon against the Bears. So there you have it. That's your full Minnesota Vikings 2021-2022 NFL record just released. My initial opinion of their schedule is extremely difficult. Like I mentioned, looking at their opponents' combined record from last year, it's the fifth hardest in the NFL. So it's almost every week they're going to have their hands full. And obviously every year is different. Some teams improve, some teams decline. We don't know. I'd like to think that the Vikings, between free agency, the draft, and injuries, that the Vikings will be a better team than they were last year when they went 7-9. So I think they're going to be better, but they're going to need to be because they have a really hard schedule this year. And I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm nervous as well because we've got some really tough games. I look at week 2, we're at the Cardinals. That's going to be a tough one. Cardinals last year were 8-8. This year, I see them improving. Week 3, we're home against the Seahawks. Seahawks are always good. Last year, they were 12-4. Russell Wilson, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Week 3, I should say, we'll be playing the Seahawks. Week 4, we're playing Cleveland, the Browns. Last year, they were 11-5. Very good team. Then we go down to week 8. We're at home against the Cowboys. I expect them to be a very good team this year. Much better than they were last year. Last year they were 6-10, but they've made free agency. They've signed some guys, and that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a tough game. Week 9, we're at Baltimore. Obviously, Baltimore, very good team. That's going to be a tough game. Baltimore last year, they were 11-5 also. Then we're week 11. We're at home against the Packers. Packers were 13-3 last year. Whether they have Aaron Rodgers or not, that's going to be a huge difference because if they don't have Rodgers, they're not going to be as good a team, obviously. And that's yet to be decided whether Aaron stays in Green Bay or not. Week 14, we're at home against the Steelers. They were 12-4 last year. Another really good team. Vikings are just playing, like I said, almost every week. Almost every week they're going to be playing a good team. The majority of the time they're going to be playing a tough opponent. So at home against Pittsburgh in week 14. And then we'll be playing the Rams at home in week 16. The Rams have a good team as well. Last year they were 10-6. Week 17, back again against the Packers. We'll be on the road at Lambeau in January on a cold January 2nd night. The Vikings are an indoor team. It's not to say we can't beat them at Green Bay. We've beat them before. But how does Kirk Cousins do against Green Bay on schedule? I hope you guys um, are excited as excited about it as I am. Um, I'm really looking forward to it. I remember this year Detroit traded Matthew Stafford, so when the Vikings play the Rams this year, they'll be facing Matthew Stafford, and when they face the Lions, they'll be facing Jared Goff because those two teams swapped their quarterbacks in the offseason. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Week 16, we'll be facing Matthew Stafford. When we play the Chargers in week 10, we'll be facing Justin Herbert, who just got NFL Rookie of the Year. Obviously, I'm a Vikings fan. We all saw what Justin Jefferson did for the Vikings. He was clearly the best receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL as a rookie. He broke Randy Moss's rookie records, so obviously he's a very good rookie. We'll see what that game shakes out to be with Justin. I don't have hard feelings about Justin Herbert getting Rookie of the Year because what he did as a rookie quarterback with his numbers, he had a terrific season as a rookie. So I guess we'll wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any, let me know what you thought of the Vikings record this year, or schedule rather. What do you forecast them ending the season with? Remember, we've got 17 games this year. What's your prediction for the year? I think the Vikings are going to have a tough time this year. And if I was going to make a prediction, I would say the Vikings this year will be, with this schedule that they have, even though I believe they will be a better team this year, I see the Vikings going, and I hope I'm wrong. I see them going, I'm going to say 8-9. That's my prediction. 8 wins, 9 losses this year. Yeah, they just got a really tough schedule this year, and they're going to be facing a lot of good teams and a lot of improved teams. So, with that, I'm going to wrap up this YouTube live video. Thanks for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment. And until next time, stay safe, stay smiling, and stay tuned.